Hello everyone and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 4 press conference live stream with me, Holly Shand. It's a really busy day because it's transfer deadline day, just to throw that into the mix with an FPL deadline coming at 6:30. So it's definitely going to be an interesting one to get through today. 8 press conferences, as you can see on your screen now. Spurs press conference coming in as we speak. And then at 1:30, we've got Arsenal, Brentford, Brighton, Palace, Man City, Man United. And then at 2 o'clock, we've got Bournemouth as well. So I'm hoping that that comes in on time and we can stick around for that one as well. Haven't made my transfers yet in my team, but I think I've got a plan of what I'm going to do. But rumours around Salah in the transfer window keep causing me a few headaches. So it'll be interesting to see where I end up. In terms of injury news today, there's not as many kind of headlines as maybe we've seen in other weeks. We've already had a few good updates already today. Richarlison and Akanji are probably the big ones that we're waiting for in the press conferences at 1 o'clock and 1:30. So keep an eye out for those. Let me know in the chat if there is any other injury news that you're really wanting to get hold of on this stream, and I'll make sure that we're across it. The TweetDeck/XPro is open and live, ready and updated. And I also want to say a huge thank you as well, because we hit 25,000 subs on the channel overnight. So huge thank you to everyone that's contributed to that. And if you're in here, hit the like button. Let's try and get the stream up to 100 likes to start with. There's over 100 of you in already, which is brilliant. And subscribe to the channel as well if you haven't done so already. I'll hop over to the chat and say hello, and then we'll go through a few other things as well. I can see quite a lot of you in already, so it's good to see so many of you joining me again. Remember, this is my traditional slot, 1 o'clock every Friday, where you can catch all of the key information ahead of the deadline. So if we hop across then to... Hang on, I feel like I've not got all the right tabs open that I wanted. To the chat. Wrong screen. We don't want to be ending yet. That was a disaster, wasn't it? Lots of you in already. TPS player is in. VJ is in and modding. Thank you so much. Ethan is in, as is Andrew, Akshat, Canova, Justine, Emma, Tamin, Obert, Sammy, Andrew, Harmony. So good to see so many of you in, and lots of questions already, which is great to see. I'll come to some questions soon. I am going to just have a look to see if we've got Postecoglou's press conference coming through yet on the TweetDeck. We've had the Chelsea press conference. There doesn't seem to be anything significant coming in from there. Some interesting news on the Salah situation. I feel like if the Saudi League put up enough money, then Liverpool will have to sell. Who knows? That's it's causing me headaches with my squad anyway. But yeah, it doesn't look like we've missed anything else. We've also had the Europa League draw today as well. It looks like Mudryk is back available for Chelsea, so that's one to keep an eye on. Neil's asking for news on Akanji. Rumours of a Sterling injury were rubbish. He was just rested in the Cup midweek. In terms of what we've got then, in terms of the press conference news, we should get confirmation on this in Manchester United's press conference, but Varane could be out for up to 6 weeks. Colwell's fine, apparently. He picked up a little bit of a knock in the cup, but it was just a kick. So he should be in the squad for Chelsea this week. Sterling was rested. We've also got headaches for goalkeepers. I've got Sam Johnston and Matt Turner in my squad, and Palace and Forest have both signed new keepers. But the good news for Johnston owners for now is that he is still number one. and it will come down to performances. So that's interesting to see how this will all evolve in the coming matches. We saw that Joe Linton wasn't in training the other day, and I think we've since had confirmation in Eddie Howe's press conference that it'll be a late call on him. Also, Botman, late call. And then I think I saw someone else said on Botman, here we go, serious doubt for the trip to Brighton. He's done some very light jogging, hasn't trained. Decision will be made today, but it sounds unlikely. So that press conference was before Newcastle training. The game is tomorrow evening. So, yeah, that's not looking good for Botman owners. But I think the positive thing for Botman owners is that he'll be back in for game week 5. Newcastle's fixtures get really nice game week 6. So I don't think that's a major issue that we need to deal with. We had 7 or 8 press conferences yesterday. McNeil is back in training for Everton and Harrison, but I doubt they're available yet. And Calvert-Lewin is available. I think Beto will probably get some game time though. We also saw that Konaté is being included in the France squad, but Klopp today ruled him out. Hang on, that was not the right one. Yeah. Klopp confirms Konaté out of the Villa game. Van Dijk suspended. Thiago's got an issue. So the Liverpool defence is going to be pretty weakened for that fixture. So that's quite an important one to bear in mind as well when you're making those decisions. And it looks like Darwin Núñez could start for Liverpool after his brace against Newcastle. Deservedly so. Hopefully he can, really find his form and push on from here because he's got so much potential. Young player. I think that could be pretty much everything. Now, this was an interesting one. Luke, Disable FPL, posted a predicted City lineup. He posts this every week, but then FPL Main Road, who's been leaking Man City news, put those eyes on there, which suggests at least that Doku starts. I don't know whether this tweet is a confirmation that the full 11 will be as follows, but that kind of positive news for Akanji owners that he's been included in there. Foden, Alvarez, Doku, the midfield, Kovacic and Rodri deep with the backline of Ake, Akanji, Diaz, Walker. But we will have Pep. Well, it won't be Pep's press conference because he's not here, but we'll have the Man City press conference at 1:30. So I think that's the big roundup of everything that we know so far. There wasn't anything else particularly interesting in the press conferences yesterday. Nothing important from Forest. Wolves, He-Chan could be back in soon. At Burnley, Bayer's available after the international break. No changes with the Luton situation. At Sheffield United, Archer and McBurney are both in contention for a start. Willian is improving at Fulham. Right. That's felt like a lot to get through. There's nearly 500 of you in, which is amazing. Can we get the stream to 100 likes? Just to start with. We're really, really close already. So if you haven't done so already, hit the like button and obviously subscribe to the channel as well. I think we've got a few latecomers coming in today, so welcome. Thank you for joining. If this is the first time you've joined the press conference stream, I'm going to pop over onto X Pro to see if we've got any news coming in yet from the Spurs press conference. Interesting to see whether Richarlison is available yet or not. Don't think there's anything coming through yet on there. So while we're waiting for that to take place, shall we just have a look at my team? I haven't made my transfers yet. I'm still thinking of the same transfer plans that I shared on, I think it was Sunday now, which is Rashford out for Sterling and João Pedro out for Jackson. I feel like the fixture swing for Chelsea means that I really need to get on board. And because I've only got Chilwell at the moment, I think also I had to bear in mind when making my decision here that I can really use this as a position of strength, having not had 2 Chelsea players last week. I can get on board the best Chelsea players for this week. So they're the moves that I'm making. I'm a little bit loath to lose Rashford. However, I don't want 2 United midfielders. Fernandes is far better an option right now. So I'm happy to lose Rashford to get Sterling. But this Salah situation, if Liverpool were to go in on another forward today, that would give me an inkling that the Salah move could potentially take place. And if that was the case, that would change my moves. There's a few other options I could do. I could move Rashford down to Fernandes, and I could do João Pedro to Vissa. But that gives me no more Chelsea, which I kind of want. So that's another option. The other option, obviously, I could sell Salah, bringing Fernandes or Sterling in. And that would even allow me to upgrade Mubama to Jackson and possibly keep João Pedro as a first sub, because Mubama's not getting any minutes at the moment. But I think if Salah stays, I'll still want him in my team. So that's where I'm at with that. But then the 11 should pick itself from there. Of all of my defence at home games, pretty much all the midfield bar Maddison would be on a home game as well on the forwards. I think Maddison will be my only player with an away fixture by this point, by the time I get into this. So yeah, it's looking okay in terms of the personnel that I've got available to me. So I'm quite excited for this game week. In terms of my predicted points for this week on Fantasy Football Hub, if I do my transfers that I'm planning on making, we'll see how it affects things. I'll just optimise. Oh, here we go. I always find this it's way more difficult than I should do. That would take me up to a team rating of 97% and a game week rating of 96%, which sounds pretty good. Now, you can also get your AI transfers. And by the way, guys, there's 50% off at Fantasy Football Hub. This offer's been going on all pre-season and season, but it ends today. You'll see that I use all of the tools on the hub all the time on my streams and in my decision making. But yeah, this is literally your last opportunity to get it at 50% off. It will be going up in price after today. So if you've seen me talking about the hub, showing you the tools, the AI, my team stuff, and you think that's good, I want to give it a go, now's the best time to sign up with that 50% off offer. The link is in the chat. It's also in the description to this video. So this is a little bit of confirmation bias because the recommended 2 transfers are to sell Rashford and João Pedro, bringing in Jackson and Foden. And Foden's an interesting one. I think Foden can do really well this week. I'm just not convinced by him longer term, but I could go with Foden. It is tempting. Fulham at home's literally the best fixture we can have on the schedule right now. The other thing that we need to bear in mind is Haaland triple captain an option this week? That's something that I'm really considering. I don't know if anyone else is too. I'll put it in the chat actually on a poll. Are you considering Haaland triple captain? Obviously, the triple captain is best used in a double game week. However, we're not expecting too many double game weeks this season, and it may not be the players that we want triple captain, which is basically Haaland. He may not have an optimal fixture that week. Right now, he's fully fit. He's not had midweek fixtures with the Champions League, so it is a credible option. Just some data to back this up. Well, first of all, predicted points this week. 9.2 predicted points for Haaland, top of the list. Salah in second on 6.3. Foden in third on 5.9. And that's confusing, actually. Because even if we filter by midfielders this week, Foden's in second place. And even longer term among midfielders, Foden's in third. Sterling doesn't even make the top 10. Tricky. But the thing that I wanted to show you as well was the Opta stats for, first, if we look at goal threat, Man City, more second for shots this season. They're about 8th for big chances. Expected goals, though, they're 4th. And then you look at the defensive stats as well. Fulham conceded the most big chances. They've conceded the 4th most shots. There's a big mismatch. So I think triple captain Haaland could be an option. I'm not going to do it this week, I don't think. However, I do think it's something that is worth considering. So if you are considering it, please don't be put off, because I think it's a really credible option. There's 649 of you in now, which is amazing. If you are in and you haven't hit the like button yet, please do. We need to get it to like 300 likes minimum. Let me put it in as the pinned chat. You're slacking, guys. It's part of the deal. If you're in the stream, you have to like the stream. It helps me to get the stream out to more people, basically. Helps to grow the channel. So, you know, in terms of supporting me and my content this season, that's like, it's an easy win. It doesn't take you any time, and it helps me to grow the channel. Right, have we got press conference news yet from Spurs? I see Liverpool have bought Gravenberch, haven't they, as well? Not yet. Fatty has been confirmed now with that season on loan to Brighton. That's quite a big one. 245. We're doing better, guys. Well done. I'll tell you what then. Let's have a look through some questions in the chat. I'm going to pick out some member questions to start with. TPS says, Brennan Johnson and Conor Gallagher might be moving to Spurs today. Yeah. Seven Golf is in the chat. Great work on the press conference streams, Holly. Been tuning in whilst I work for the last few weeks. Great way to keep up to date. Thank you for that, Seb. Appreciate that one. Anish says, what's the news on Salah? Yeah, I think Klopp's been playing it down, but there's been a big bid, 150 million bid come in for Salah. Liverpool have rejected it, said he's not for sale, but it sounds like Saudi League are going to be putting in another offer at the very least. Muffin Meow has said, best striker for points, 8 million or under. I think Jackson's the standout for me. Have a look at what the predictions on the hub say as well for this one. So if we filter by forwards, yeah, Jackson second to Haaland. For this week, if we look at the 4-game week, Gabriel Jesus, not many people talking about him, but obviously back from injury, another one that we ought to be considering. Killerat is in. He said he haven't made any transfers yet. No, me neither. We'll have plenty of time. We've got the deadline stream later as well, guys, by the way. I'll be going live with the deadline stream at 4:45. Again, link is in the chat. I'll pin it as well. Well, if one of the mods can pin it for me, that would be great if you can do that. Adash has said, Holly, is Rashford to Salah and Bruno to Rodri a good idea? No, don't buy Rodri. He's a trap. Defensive midfielders have no place in FPL and it takes up a valuable midfield option. I would just go... Oh, no, you've got Rashford and Bruno. Yeah. I mean, Sterling, Maddison and Bomo, Foden all look like good targets. Let me just pin this message and then I'll get back to answering some questions. We've still not got the stream to 300 likes, guys, though. Let's get it done. Killer Rat saying I'm unsure on Sterling. Yeah, me too. Akshat says if Salah leaves, then Liverpool will try and get João Felix. He's not the same calibre as Salah, though. I think the other thing that we need to think about is... I'll put my team on screen again, by the way, so you can see what's going on. Or maybe I should put my... Is that going to work if I go back? Is it going to remember who I wanted to put in? I don't think I saved it. This Salah situation's just frustrating. In terms of the triple captain, 415 votes, 6% have said they are considering it for this week. So it's about 30 of you. I think it is an option. I think if he bangs a hat-trick, I'll be gutted that I didn't do it. Akshat says rate them from 1 to 4 and Bomo, Sterling, Foden, Maddison. I think I'd put Bomo first because he's on all set pieces, including penalties. Then Maddison. Then Sterling, then Foden. I could get Foden this week. I feel like I've got caught up on the Sterling train. It's a difficult one. Sandeep is in, as is Anish. Lots of speculation on Salah in the chat. Anish is going to captain Bowen this week. Well, I mean, it's a brave person to go against Haaland, particularly this week. But yeah, go for it. Ivo says Sterling or Foden. I mean, I'm buying Sterling, but AI prefers Foden. Shall I put that to a poll? Which midfielder? Sterling or Foden? Because if I'm getting TPS play says Salah is going. Oh, I don't know. Killer Rat says considering Jesus in a few weeks. TPS player says is in Matoma rotation risk. Absolutely. Just if you have a look. Hang on, that's not the right. Let me just check that we've not missed anything on the tweet deck while I'm on it. But I will come back to this point as well. Yeah, nothing significant there. If we look at Brighton's Europa League group, Ajax are in there. It's a really tough group, like probably the toughest group that's there. So that's something to be aware of. Probably the most difficult group by some margin for Brighton. That's why they've strengthened the squad. But yeah, there's going to be rotation. Absolutely. I think Brighton assets are getting to be a sell with the turn in their fixtures. It's Newcastle and Man United up next. Then they've got Europa League in the midweek between 5 and 6. And they've got Europa League between Villa and the Liverpool game and Man City in there as well. And the options they've got, I think we need to take the points that we've got from our Brighton players and run. Sandeep says, who should I transfer out for Onana? Have Areola. Flecken's still looking good. I mean, it depends how much money you've got to spend. If we have a look at the predictions, I'll do this by goalkeepers and I'll do more of a long term. I mean, I would only make the goalkeeper transfer if you need to, because if Areola's starting, it doesn't necessarily matter because he's looking good. In terms of budget options around the same price, we've got Martinez, got his hard fixtures out of the way now. Sanchez is still an option, but I don't know if he's in the optimal triple up from Chelsea right now, but I probably wouldn't make a goalkeeper transfer if I still had a wild card, because it's something that you can deal with down the line, because Areola should be good in this next little period anyway. Sandeep's asking about 4 million goalkeepers with Turner. I wouldn't necessarily do that because Turner could lose his place. I can't pronounce the Forest new signing's name. I don't know have they announced it yet? Who knows? I mean, they've got a lot of signings to announce. I can't see him yet. Anyway, Forest have signed a lot of players, and yeah, it's not going to be straightforward knowing if Turner's first choice or not. Neil says, I've got 2 free transfers, going Odegaard to Maddison, but need to decide if I go Rashford down to Sterling or Bowen, or Pedro to Alvarez and Jackson, or roll the other. Depends, Neil, on if you upgrade Pedro, does that mean that you have to bench someone half decent? That would be my advice there. I think Pedro is a problem, so I'd be more likely to make the move on him than the Rashford move. But rolling the transfer can be quite beneficial for after the international break as well. George says, well done on 25k. Thank you. Killer Rat says he worries that Sterling's overhyped. Sterling's stats have been poor. Yeah, I agree with that as well. 58% Sterling, 42% Foden. You guys, you've got me thinking. I don't think we've got Fatty's price yet, Sandy, but it shouldn't be long. Yeah, the rumour mill's already starting in terms of who... Saudi media is saying the Salah deal is done. Ugh. Killer, have you got Fernandes as well? Because I think he's the better option between Rashford and Fernandes. Headaches, guys. I feel like this... I know I said this last week, but this has been like the toughest start to the season ever, it feels like. Looks like there might be a few press conferences coming in now. Amrabat to United. Postecoglou is in now as well. Hudson-Odoi to Forest. Completed his medical. Did we know about the Amrabat one? Nothing important from Postecoglou yet. We've got a super chat in from Mark. Thank you, Mark. Brought in Bowen and Antonio. Bench Rashford or Saka. Saka's got the home game and he's on pens. Rashford isn't. So I think that's an easy decision there on that one. Those West Ham assets are looking great for the Luton game. However, before everyone goes crazy on West Ham, it's City and Liverpool straight after the break. So I think if I was investing in West Ham, I'd maybe go game week 7 or game week 9. But yeah, you look at like the 19 pointers Sterling got, you could easily earn your money back on them in this little window of time as well. Saudi coming in with 175 million bid for Salah. Wow. Oh, a couple more super chats in. Thank you for these. Bada says Martinelli to Maddison or Foden or Mbomo or Sterling. I'm not convinced I'd sell Martinelli. Just if you look at United's injuries right now, they're going to have to play with a back line of, well, Onana's struggled, and then we've got Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Martinez, and I forgot who's going to be coming in at left back now, but it's certainly not their strongest defence. I think Martinelli could do good. I guess the concern with Martinelli is his underlying numbers, because in terms of shot volume, he's had 6 shots but he's had no big chances. So I can see the frustration. And if you don't own any of Maddison, Foden and Bomo or Sterling, it's between Maddison and Mbomo for me. And Bomo's got pens. Maddison could have pens, but I think Son will most likely be on them. But one of those two, especially if you've got more than one Arsenal midfielder, I think it's an easier move. Super chat as well from Siley. Sterling's can't get my words out. Sterling 6 touches in the box till now, 5 against Luton. Yeah, this. If I just bring up some couple of things that I've seen on Twitter in the last couple of days on this. One from the Hub. This shows us Sterling's stats for the first 2 game weeks and then game week 3. And obviously a massive increase against Luton, but was that just Luton or was that Sterling? However, there was also something that FPL Vocal posted as well, which I quite liked the other day, showing how Sterling's output has increased in general over the last few weeks compared to last season. So touches in the box way up, completed dribbles way up, sprints, touches in the box. So I think nice fixtures, confidence, and he's probably a bit angry that he got left out of the England squad. I think all of that is promising in terms of Sterling doing well. Had another super chat, by the way, in from Matt. He said, take March out for Sterling. I think that move is absolutely fine. I think now is a good time to exit those Brighton assets and maybe look to get back on board a little bit later once things are looking a bit more calm for Brighton fixture-wise, and we know about those rotation risks as well. Right, let's pop over to the tweet deck again. We've got updates from Manchester City. Phil Foden has completely recovered from illness. Manuel Akanji's problem was for prevention, not serious. He's more or less there. John Stones is more or less there as well. So that sounds like Stones could be available. I'll pin that in the chat. So that's good news. Oh yeah, it's Regulon, isn't it? Who's going to be? And we've also got from... I'm going to bookmark some of these as well so we can go back to them. We've also got from Manchester United that Rasmus Højlund will be available for Sunday. He had a good training week and he's responding well, so he'll be available for Sunday. So that's another good one as well. We've got some more super chats in. Vijay with a super chat, thank you. Is that 1 month member? And then Yazer has said, João Pedro and either Rashford or Saka out for a -4, Alvarez and Sterling in. I'd look at who you can get to just from João Pedro. I don't think I would take the hit to sell either Rashford or Saka. I think it's fine for free. If you can get to Visser on a straight swap, Jackson even better. But if it's the only way you can upgrade João Pedro, have a look at Edouard as well. But yeah, some okay options there. Sally says, how can you not go Foden against Fulham at home? Big mistake. Yeah, it probably is. I'm still thinking about it. I've still got time to make a decision. Right, so we've got some good news there in terms of player availability. Everything's coming through at once now that it's 1:30. We didn't get a lot pre-embargo in the City press conference. There was a question on Cancelo, question on Cole Palmer, and then those little bits of news. Who knows whether Nunes will be a City player by the deadline. He's not trained today, so... I mean, if he's registered in time, then you know, he could play. Quite a lot to go on there then. I've not seen anything from Postecoglou on Richarlison at all. Let me just give that a search. And surely something was said, unless I've missed it. I can't even spell his name. Is it that? No, failed. I should be able to spell these, shouldn't I? Has Ben said anything? If you're not following Ben Dinnery, by the way, you're doing FPL all wrong. You need to be all over these press conferences on Twitter. Yeah, no, I can't see anything yet, to be fair, on that one. Surely Postecoglou said something. By the way, guys, can you tell me in the chat if it's really annoying when I'm scrolling through on Twitter? I'm literally just trying to keep up to date with everything. I can't see anything. So I'm guessing that means nothing from Postecoglou. It's carnage today. I'll be pleased once the window's shut because it helps with FPL and it will help with this stream as well. Fulham, Paulina has departed. That just means that Fulham are going to be even weaker. Oh, I'm really tempted by Foden, you know. Really tempted over Sterling. The vote, by the way, 60% for Sterling, 40% for Foden. I'm sure I've missed loads of members' questions while we've been going through them. We had a flurry of stuff. Gabby was asking on Ward-Prowse or Bowen. I think Kudos coming in. Ward-Prowse is a worse asset because... Sorry, Bowen is a worse asset this season because he's lost set pieces to Ward-Prowse. However, we've also got to bear in mind that Ward-Prowse being on set pieces makes them better. I think I prefer Bowen though because we've also got Kudos coming in as well. I think Lo Celso was the only injury that Postecoglou mentioned. So it's suggested that probably Richarlison's fine. Neil says, if I got Jackson, I would need to bench one of a Kanji or a Stupinan. Also have Baldock. Could be worth a punt. Yeah, I think that's fine then to make the move. Amrabat to United is this year's De Jong saga for United. They have one every year, don't they? It's done though. It's over the line. Anish says, can we plan to bring in Cash next week? Yeah, I wouldn't even wait for next week. He's so attacking. I think he's fourth for expected goal involvement this season among all players. Like, he's playing as a winger in some games. Sorry, that's filtered by Arsenal. That's why it's not coming up. Or was it XG? Was it non-pen XG? We get the right metric. Well, the Hub's XG metric is slightly different, but it's still in the top 10. So attacking. So yeah, I would buy Cash. Remember, as I said, this Fantasy Football Hub offer, 50% off, is only on today. It ends today. So if you're not a Hub member already and you enjoy all the information that I give in the stream on this, then make sure that you're signing up today. Best time to sign up between now and the end of the season. And if you haven't done so already, give the stream a like. There's 900 of you in, we're only on 360 something likes. We can do better than that, guys. Akshat says Gravenberch signing for Liverpool means that Trent could play a better position. TPS player says, is Bernardo starting against Fulham? What did we have on that predicted lineup? I don't know if this is gospel. He's not in that. However, I think that could have just been Doku. We'll have more news later, though, if you join me for the deadline stream. What else have we got coming through? It's a loan deal for Amrabat, is it? Yeah, no, there's nothing on Richarlison. No news is good news. That's what I say anyway. The chat is going mad. Killer Rat says, any news on Højlund? Yes, he's available. Super chat from Matthew. Thank you, Matthew. Which one would you bench, please? I hate these benching dilemmas. This is going to be like all season as well because everyone's so cheap. Mbomo, Diaz, Saka, Foden, Maddison or Alvarez. Right, and Mbomo's on pens. You cannot bench him. I think I'd bench Diaz, you know. He's not even guaranteed to start. Saka's on pens. Foden's got a great fixture. Maddison's on set pieces. You can't bench Alvarez. Yeah, Diaz by process of elimination. He's not on set pieces. He's not got as simple a fixture as some other teams. Foden and Akanji both available for the Fulham game. Yeah, Anish, I think I've just covered your cash question. Cancelo isn't over the line yet by the looks of things. City have confirmed the signing of Núñez. Thank you to everyone that's modding or members updating me on these as well, by the way. Everyone said it's not annoying me scrolling through Twitter. Yeah, it's the tweet deck. Everyone says keep scrolling. Well, I'll try not to go too crazy. I feel like the chat's trying to bully me into getting Foden. Right. I think I've covered most of the members' questions then, unless I've missed a load. The chat keeps jumping about. Akshat says Bernardo just became a father. Yeah, he did. That's a good point. Yeah, but it could mean baby celebration. Could mean he's had no sleep. Yeah, I would keep Gusto, but I wouldn't buy him this week, Anish, just because of... I think James is meant to be back after the break. Gabby says I wouldn't buy Richarlison even if he was a free fire. Yeah, me neither. Sandeep has said who to bench among Estupiñán, Saliba, Cash, Gusto, Baldock. I'd bench Baldock. And Saliba, I think. I know a lot of people are looking at benching Estupiñán this week. However, I don't think that's a wise idea just because of how attacking he is. Adash says Alvarez or Wissa for Pedro. I think I just prefer Wissa as a long-term pick. Shall I put my team back up? I'm tempted by Foden, you know. Rashford out for Foden. And João Pedro out for Jackson. No Sterling. I don't know who I want more long term. It's so tricky. I've only got 0.1 million in the bank for that one, actually. Didn't even realise it was that close to the wire. I don't make early transfers though, guys. Anish is planning to stay with Watkins. That is absolutely fine. You can't own them all. We're up to 900 people in. Keep hitting the like button for me, guys. Thank you for all the support as well. Honestly, I really do appreciate it. I was so pleased to hit 25,000 subs. Like, that's a huge milestone for the channel. This is just the beginning as well. There's plenty more to come. Right, how are we doing on press conferences? So we've heard from Spurs. I don't think we've heard anything from Arteta yet or from Thomas Frank. De Zerbi's been floating around. We've had the City news. We've had the United news. Ivo says bench Stupinan or Cash. I think I'd probably have to bench Stupinan in that case. This is quite interesting, by the way. These are the transfer window closing dates. Now, I'm not saying that... I think it's unlikely for Liverpool to let Salah go once our window is closed. But the Saudi Pro League window does not close until the 20th of September. Game week 5 deadline is on the 16th of September. Sorry, wrong tab. Nothing else coming up on there. So just to update on what we know so far. Højlund is available. Foden's fine. Akanji should be okay. Stones is close to being back. Botman is very likely out. Konate is out. The weak Liverpool defence with Van Dijk suspended. Núñez could start. Botman, we've mentioned Botman. Joe Linton the same. Calvert-Lewin's back. That's about it, really. Killer Rat said, is Haaland really a good option for triple captain? Yeah, he is. I did discuss this at the top of the stream. I don't know if you were in. But probably a double game week's the best time to play it. I think I am still going to go Sterling. I've tried Foden on for size, but I think Sterling's where I want to go. I just feel like he's so much more explosive. And I don't have to worry about if he's going to start week to week. Right, well, I'll try and do some other questions then. Andrew says, buy Newcastle players this week. Yeah, you can do. The trouble is with Newcastle attackers is there's so much competition for places. I could see Isaac losing out to Wilson soon. Barnes and Gordon are rotating on one side. Almiron looks a bit more nailed on the opposite flank for now. But Anderson had a great pre-season. I think Trippier is probably the easiest buy at the moment, especially if you've got lots of funds. But Brighton away, Brentford at home, game week 4 and 5. I don't think they're locks for clean sheets. I think maybe game week 6 is probably the time to buy. Adam says, does the 50% off deal for Hub stay for a year or only the first month? It's for a year. Let me just put the link up. You have to get the 50% off on the Hub. You need to be an annual member. This is pinned in the chat, by the way. So if you pay annually, you'll get that 50% off for this year. So the Pro membership's probably the one that you want to go for. So I think that's £36 today rather than the £72 if, there wasn't any money off. That's the one that includes, the points prediction store, the Optastats. So I think that's the one that's most useful. But you'll also lock in that plan for forever. Like when it comes to renew next year, it will only be £36 again. It won't, even if Hub put their prices up, they froze prices this season. So, I mean, I can't really speculate, but you'd imagine that it could go up next year. Then, yeah, it would be more expensive, even at the 50% off for next year. So you're guaranteeing that 50% off for life. So if you are interested, then the link is in the chat and the description to the video. But honestly, it's fantastic value. £36, £3 a month. Covers so much stuff in terms of, making you a better fantasy manager. And they've still got this win your mini league or your money back offer as well. Basically, you share which mini league you're in. I think you have to let them know by the 30th of September. And if you don't win your mini league, having logged in the hub each week and done all, use the My Team tool to get your AI transfers, things like that. If you do all that and you don't win your mini league, they will give you your money back. So, honestly, it's a fantastic offer. Obviously, I'm an ambassador for the hub. I write for the hub. But yeah, it's a no-brainer, really. We're almost up to 500 likes, says Vijay, which is great to see. 468, so we're getting there. Keep hitting the like button if you haven't already. Let's see if we've got any more news in from the press conferences. Can't see anything at the moment. I don't think we've seen anything from Thomas Frank, have we? Have I missed it? I don't think I have. Sam Johnston will start for Palace, confirms Roy Hodgson. So FPL Main Road has confirmed that even though he won't have the full team, that's the very likely team. Don't think we've had a prognosis of how long Varane is out for either. There's so much to get through. Oh dear. Sorry, I've probably missed a load of questions now in the chat as well. Alchester says, hi Holly, sell Rashford for Sterling. I think that's fine. It's easier to do if you've got 2 frees and if you're a Fernandes owner as well. But as you can see with my squad, I'm not a Fernandes owner and I'm looking to do the same deal. Willie said, how much worse is Sterling compared to Maddison until game week 9? Could use the extra money from getting Sterling, but not sure. For me, Maddison v Sterling is a no-brainer. Maddison is the better asset. He's got the same goal threat. He's got more assist threat. He's on set pieces. He's just got more routes to points. Sterling is explosive and can blow hot and cold, but Maddison, you just know what to expect from him week in, week out. I guess the only reservation is his injury record. Sandeep wants to know who to bench out of Gusto, Cash, Estepinian, Saliba and Baldock. I think I answered this one before, Sandeep. Saliba and Baldock would be the 2. Muffin Meow says, any advice on when you should wildcard? The earliest I would wildcard would be over this international break, but I think the international break at game week 8, after game week 8, or even earlier than that could be another option. Just having a look at fixture swings, kind of over the next 5, Newcastle are starting to come good. Man City are looking good. But then if we look at the window from game week 9 to 12, we've suddenly got Aston Villa looking good, Liverpool, Newcastle right up there as well. So I think that's probably the window of time. Willie said, oh no, we've done that one. Sorry. Killer Rat says, I'm so nervous to sell Rashford. The fixtures after Arsenal look good, but I really want Maddison. Yeah, the thing is that's convinced me to sell Rashford. Sorry, my mic's just gone a bit wonky. Fernandes is the better pick. And you're probably not going to want to double up. So if we just compare Rashford and Fernandes, this is really nice, this player comparison as well. Like, basically on all metrics, Fernandes is the better asset. And he's got penalties. His goal threat is on a level with Rashford, and he's way more creative as well. Even if we look at game week 3, when Rashford was in his preferred position, like, look how much better Fernandes was than Rashford just in that one game. I know it's a small sample size, but I feel like it's just going to continue. Unless Rashford's in red-hot form, which we haven't seen from him yet, Fernandes all the way. Super chatting from Kamal. Hi, Holly. Is it worth to use a triple captain on the robot this game week? I think if you're going to do it in a single game week, there isn't going to be many better opportunities than this one. And I just want to go to Ben Krellin on Twitter. Hopefully I can find this without too much scrolling. Tell you what, we'll use the spreadsheet. This is on the hub as well. So the confirmed, we've got blank game weeks in 26 and 29. But in terms of the double game weeks, there's only really 2 in the schedule. There's less doubles than last year. So there's going to be probably a double game week in game week 34 and game week 37. But if we've got bench boost, triple captain and free hit to use, there may not be a good opportunity. And when you have a look at the fixtures for Haaland, game week 34, 37, Spurs away, Fulham away. I mean, game week 37, it could be on. We're going to have rearranged fixtures against Brentford, probably a few more. So there will be good opportunities to do it, but it is tempting for this week. 6% when I did the vote said they would do it this week. I've personally thought about it, but I've decided to wait it out. All my thinking is, from a psychological perspective, if I do it any blanks, then I'll feel like I'm behind. Like, you need a hat trick from him, basically, to feel like you've got enough of an edge this early. It is viable, though. Just having a look to see. Looks like João Cancelo's definitely off. Brennan Johnson confirmed as a Spurs player. That move is done. It's just crazy today. There's literally so much going on. The Bournemouth press conference was at 2:00. So going to hang on for that one. Killer Rat says already doubled up with Bruno and Rashford. We'll get it done then. Was it Maddison you said he was bringing in? Can't remember now. TPS say I'm playing saving triple captain for when Haaland plays Luton at home. What if he's injured though? When does he play Luton at home? Is it in like a Champions League sandwich? Game week 33. Could be on. Muffin Meow says, will Johnson start at Spurs? I'm not sure. I'm not sure how we'll bed in. I mean, where will he play? Got a few price reveals dropping in as well. Sorry, I've just realised that you can't even see the screen that I'm on. This from Palace. Dean Henderson is in the building, but Roy Hodgson confirms Sam Johnston will start against Wolves. Most importantly, he brings a situation where we have two outstandingly good goalkeepers. It's good for us. It's not good for us FPL managers, though. Particularly the ones that own Johnston. I don't know how highly owned he is, actually. 2.1%. Yeah, not very. Feel like it's just me. I don't know, guys. We've hit 500 likes, thank you. Remember to subscribe to the channel as well. We're still waiting for news on Bournemouth. While we're waiting, that press conference is at 2 o'clock. While we're waiting for that, I've got a little favour to ask of you. The Football Content Awards are happening in November, and if you're enjoying the content on the channel, then you can vote for me in the category of Best in Fantasy Football. You can go down to, I put the link in the chat, but you go on this screen, there's loads of categories and whatever. You don't need to vote in everything, but if you go down to Best in Fantasy Football, if you would like to vote for me in the category of video, I'd really appreciate the support on that one. It will, it'd be huge to get nominated. Maybe an outside chance of an award as well. I'm only going to ask you this once on this stream, but yeah, I would really appreciate it if you could do that for me. If you're enjoying the content, if you want to vote for someone else, I know there's a lot of great content creators on YouTube. I won't be offended, but if you are enjoying the content and you do want to vote for me, then, I'll really appreciate it. Back onto the TweetDeck yet, then to see if we've got any news from Bournemouth or anything else. Doesn't look like it at the moment. Do we think Amrabat goes straight in for United? What's your thoughts on that? Let me know in the chat what you think. I mean, it's a good signing. Casemiro struggled, hasn't he? For sure in the last few games, sorry. Question from Charlie: Areola or Edison this week? I think I would play Edison. Fulham are so lacking in the goal scoring department, aren't they? That I think that's an easy decision. Adash says he's voted, as has Akshat. Thank you. It's all happening. I don't know if we're going to get anything from Bournemouth. I've not seen them post anything yet. I'm pretty sure the press conference was at 2 o'clock. Who have they got this week? Brentford, oh yeah, of course. It's all gone a bit quiet, actually. So I don't actually know whether that's coming or not. We'll give it another 5 minutes and I'll just answer a few more questions. TPS players voted. Thank you. Richarlison is fit. Union Just says bench Vardiol or Estupinan. Probably Estupinan in that case. Neil's voted as well. Thank you. Mark's asking on Man City news. Yeah, Foden's fine. Akanji should be okay. Stones will be back soon. That was the big one. I had quite a few asking for the City press conference. I'll put it up again. And also, put a little predicted lineup from City. Don't know whether this is absolutely true or not, but certainly a good guess at the 11. Not sure if we're going to get anything else, guys. I will be back later, though, for the deadline stream. So the deadline stream is coming at 4:45. So if you're joining me for that one, then I'll put the link in the chat. You can hit the notify button and that will let you know when I go live, because I think it's the links in the description as well. Steve, I think it's pinned at the moment. So yeah, I think if you are thinking of joining me, hit the notify button, because it might be that I'm a little bit early. I'm doing the Premier League Fan Zone live at about 4:15. So if you're not in the UK, catch me on that, and then I'll literally be jumping straight over for the deadline stream. Still need to make my transfers, 2 free transfers. I'll be ahead of any team news, and I'll be able to answer more questions as well. It's always a bit crazy, this one, trying to keep an eye on the news. But hopefully you found this useful. If you have, thank you for supporting. Remember to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And a big thank you to everyone that's voted in the Football Content Awards for me as well. I won't mention it again. If we do get shortlisted, then I may ask again in a few weeks. But, huge thank you to everyone. And I'll be back in 2.5 hours. Thanks for watching again. Speak to you soon.